Welcome to Ngosti Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Ngosti Talk Show. The world has been united in one, knowing that there are no guarantees. Over to you, Claudia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, welcome everyone, and happy Friday as well from the lovely Summery, UK. I'm Claudia Prischer and I'm a certified Theta healer. And Theta healing is an energy healing modality where we can identify our self-limiting beliefs, change them into new empowering beliefs. So because what we believe, we will always attract outside in our reality, as the world outside is the mirror of what we have stored inside of us. And the beliefs, obviously, as well, are a very big part of it.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Over to you, Carol Ann, please.
Yes, good afternoon from London, UK. And as the writing facilitator, what I do is, sorry, my doorbell's ringing. Get distracted, isn't it? It's so easy distracted. What I do is I actually support soul-driven entrepreneurs in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. But more importantly, they experience free-flowing writing. They experience an unlocking of the writer within and getting their book written, getting their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within. So I'm Carol Ann, the writing facilitator, helping you to create momentum in your business through the written word. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol Ann. So our topic today is how do you prioritize tasks and events? So I'm going to hand it over to you, Carol Ann. You chose this topic. Please, can you explain to the audience?
It came up yesterday, actually. I'd signed up for 3 challenges this week, and it got to yesterday, and it was like, still a lot of things to do. And I remember thinking, needing to prioritize, and then I also had 2 events happening in the evening, well, 3 actually happening in the evening, but 2 of them in particular were overlapping, and it was like, well, which one do I go to? And having to make a choice, and it just got me thinking about priorities. And there was something that happened during the day, also for the evening one, where I chose, and I thought, okay, I'll stay at the one event and I'll watch the replay of the other one. But something happened, and I just got in touch with my inner guidance that said, no, you need to stop being at the one event and go to that other event. And I'm so glad I did, because I realized that it was my input that was needed there as well at this other event. So it is, so how do we prioritize? But also, whose priority is it anyway? I remember a few years ago seeing somebody, they wanted some, putting out for trainers, because they wanted their workforce to be trained in being able to prioritise, because some of their workforce weren't doing the jobs when they wanted them to be done. And I remember thinking, whose priority is it anyway? You know, and how do you, is it a case of forcing someone to do the jobs when you want them done? Or is it a case of working with somebody to work out, well, what's their priority? And how can you, work with that? So it really threw up a lot of questions. And yesterday I was doing some, I had a healing session with somebody. And what I realized with some of the tasks that I'd been putting off all week to do, there was that part of me that was thinking, I'm being told to do this, and I won't do it. It's like that rebellion going on. And so that's why I was putting them off. And once I'd cleared that and thought, no, it's when I want to do them, it shifted that. And then all of a sudden today, it's like, okay, I started doing them, just doing them. So yeah, that's where this sort of question came out. How do we prioritize, and whose priority is it anyway? So yeah, over to you, and let's see where we go with it. Yeah.
Over to you, Claudia, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I quite enjoyed as well the very first bit of Carol Ann in regards to the inner guidance, because sometimes we do have a few things coming up, and we do have to actually stand still and to tune in and see what do we do first. And actually, the information is already in space, in the universe, in space, however you want to call this, a field of, it's like a container of information. And just like as well what she suggested, ask the space, the universe, and then you will get the guidance as well in regards to, for you right now, so and so it's more important than the other thing. So absolutely. And then as well, something I noticed as well when I'm working with my clients in the as a theta healer, it's about the beliefs. And so many female entrepreneurs have the belief that they can't have it all. So they can't be the wife, the mother, and to start their own business. And just like they get a bit like already at the beginning of their business, a bit like juggly, irritating, because they believe they can't be in every area in their life. And this is as well something to be reflected on and to be sorted out, because the truth is you can have it all and to be everywhere in your life and to live it. And then another thing as well, I did some coaching last year myself, and I got this is a bit more a practical approach. It's a one-page productivity planner. So basically, I've got like in the morning, I've got things, projects I have to look at, and people I am waiting for to come back to me, people I have to reach out, and as well priorities in regards to before I do anything else, to open my inbox or something. I write the priorities down as well. Sometimes it's as well good to put the things onto paper so that we don't get distracted. Yeah.
So much. Thank you so much, Claudia. I agree with you and Carol Ann. I think it's very, very important to actually prioritize and ask for guidance within, and whoever believes in the universe, I believe in God. And I remember one day I was scrolling down on Facebook and I saw this event. I was like, oh, this looks fun. And I hesitated, and then I put my name down. And since then, I don't regret doing it. And I still have to do, because this guy does lots of challenges. I still have to do his challenges, 5-day challenges starting today. but it's just picking and choose. So I find myself, because sometimes I get invited to other events, so I have to ask my inner guidance, like Carol Ann was saying, that what do I need right now? Because some people, they do the events that the things that I've already gone through, but it's just looking at within the things that you actually look. Myself, I look at weaknesses. What are my weaknesses? So I'll look at the events and say, this is the events that I'm gonna go to, and or this is what I'm gonna do. Like what you were saying, Claudia, you have your productivity planner. Me, I have the alarm. My alarm goes off in this house. I know I cannot ignore it. It's in my head, the things that I need to do every day, but I go and set the alarm. Anything that the alarm is set, it cannot be ignored. When the alarm goes off, I drop everything. I go and do that task because I know I've put it down, and that task is very, very important. So sometimes I hear my children go, can you switch off your phone? Is annoying. And the alarm is going, and then I have to have a look at what is going on. And then I'll have a look and see that this is the task that I need to do. Then I just do it straight away. It takes 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I just do it straight away. And sometimes it's all about using your beliefs and checking it out and prioritizing, basically, and looking at your inner and basically do what you think is right. Because some people, we all plan different things, but for me, in the morning, I just pray to God and say, listen, I just want my day to go how you planned it, and not how I planned it, because if I plan things, everything goes wrong. So I say to him, God, let my day be how you've planned it. Or my expectations, sometimes if I'm expecting something, sometimes it doesn't go my way, I just have to say, okay, just accept. It's just coming to terms of accepting things not going your way. Or sometimes I go to an event, I try to log in, I don't get through. Sometimes I have to accept it. And like Carol Anna was saying, who are you doing it for? So if you're doing it for yourself, you know that you can't get stressed about it. You just have to thank God or thank the universe that actually I'm breathing. So if things don't go your way, that's it. So over to you, Carol Ann, please.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about you've got your plan and then you put up that prayer and ask God for the guidance to get it all done. And that reminds me of a time, oh gosh, it was about 20 years ago now. I went to visit my cousin in Australia and stayed with him, and then went on a trek of my own for a couple of weeks to Sydney and down to Melbourne, back up again. And while I was in Sydney, I remember each day I would just plan what I would like to see or visit. And then I literally went, okay, and what's going to come first? And I would literally put one foot in front of the other and trust the guidance. I had no order set. I just thought, right, this is what I'd like to visit or do today. And it was just absolutely amazing. And I remember one particular day where I decided I wanted to do a boat trip up the river. And I'd actually planned and thought, right, this is the boat trip I need to go for. And I got to the harbour to actually see the boat that I thought I was going for, just taking off at the away, going off. And I was guided to book for another one. And when I looked at it, I realised the one I was initially going for actually only went part way up the river. The one that I was guided to went all the way up as far as it could.
Yeah.
And back down again.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my goodness, So I got what I wanted and more really than what I'd thought. So it is a case of, each day I put one foot in front of the other and I covered and did everything that I wanted to do. And I just enjoyed that flexibility. So I love that. Yeah, plan, say what it is you want to get done, and just allow that guidance to happen, because there is a greater power. And as Claudia, you said, the universe knows, you know, and it is that trusting. Just ask, and the order comes, and it happens, and it just happens without effort. That's the beauty of it. You know, we're so hung up on got to get it done in this order, and we try and force it. And then that's where you get that tension in your body, you get the headache, you get the stress, and you start making yourself wrong. You know, it's like, oh, I should be doing this. Let go of the shoulds and just hold that intention that this is what I'd like to achieve. And like I said yesterday, the things that I've been putting off all week to do, I've now started doing today. And I just thought the timing is perfect. What I have achieved today, if I don't do everything I'd set for this week, I've set a ball rolling, because then next time when I run my free virtual writing retreat, I will be in a different place, and I would then do all the actions that I've been putting off this week, because I've cleared what was in the way. And whoever turns up next week is perfect. You know, it's just like, yes, thank you. So love it. Yeah, plan and then leave it up to the universe and just trust. Put one foot in front of the other. But it is about taking the action rather than sitting back and going, okay, nothing's happening. You do have to do some movement there and take some action towards what it is you want to achieve. Yeah.
That is so true, Carol Ann. Over to you, Claudia.
Yes, I like to recommend as well a little book I got as well from my last year's coaching. It's called A 12-Week Year. Sometimes it's too much for us to plan for the whole year. It looks too long and just like a bit too far to reach out and so on. So there's a great book, The 12-Week Year. Basically, you divide your plans and the priorities or the projects, whatever it is you want to be doing, into 4, 8, 12, 3 months, 3 months, and then just like it's a bit more doable and reachable, so it doesn't feel like too long and too overwhelming, and that you as well lose the momentum and the enthusiasm. So it's just like, again, a bit on the practical, because as well, like Carol Ann said, the universe loves us to take actions, because we are spiritual beings in the physical body, and this body wants to be in action. So yeah.
So much. Thank you so much, Claudia. I actually agree with you guys because you have to, when you are doing something, basically you have to identify what is important to you, like what Carol Ann was saying. You have to understand your true goals, write your true goals, which goals are important, which ones are not. Basically you have to prioritize it. When you actually prioritize it, and then you have to differentiate and see what if you prioritize this task, and which task to focus on, and what kind of results are you looking for, are you hoping to achieve, and then tailor your effort according to what you want to achieve. And basically sometimes it can be very tricky, because mostly when you're running your own business, it will turn out that every task that you have is very, very important. So you have to actually go and look back. Who do you need to prioritize? The companies, or is there anyone that the emails, or it could be phone calls? and things like that, and also asking the universe to guide you through that when you're working through everything, and ask God. Basically, for me, I ask God, like this morning today, there's some things that I'm doing that I'm prioritizing at the moment. So for me, I have to go back to the Bible, because and quoting the scriptures and actually claiming the promises of God, what He says in the Bible, and just claiming it, because I'm praying for my business. I don't want to go to talk show or Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency to be just something small. I want to get big. I want my business to grow. So I was quoting those scriptures because this is my goal, to reach where I need to go. So I was quoting the scriptures and claiming the promises that He is making in the Bible, and asking Him, say, you say whatever you ask in your name. And you say, if you seek my kingdom, everything will be added to you. So I'm claiming that. You say everything that if I claim your kingdom, so everything that I desire, it will be added to you. It will be added to me. And at the same time, how much am I willing to sacrifice, and how much am I willing to give away? If you do bless me, how much do I need to give to the poor, to actually to the need? And I'm claiming it that I'm gonna give them 20% to whatever you give me, because this is my priority. Working hard and my health is my priority, and my children is health, and their dad is health. It is my priority. Me making sure that my health is there, and my business is growing, and my family, the love of my family as well, and my friends and people around me is my priority as well. So I'm claiming it based on the promises that He's making. So this is what I've been doing today. So over to you, Carol Ann.
Just something that tickled me, or what's the word? Nudged me, as you were saying. Your priority is your health. Yeah.
Yeah. If I haven't got good health, that means I cannot do anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I'm
totally. And
prioritizing health.
I'm sort of thinking, do I really prioritize my health? Because this physical body is not the level of fitness and health that it used to be. And I say, I want to get it back to that level of fitness and health. But am I really doing what is needed to get it there? And is it a priority? Maybe there's that question, because for me, I think my priority is education and learning about the brain-body connection, about how our body works. But I'm just wondering whether I need to shift my priority a bit and focus on the health side. Maybe there's something that I'm not looking at. It's just something that nudged me in that moment. And I wonder whether sometimes we say, oh, that's a priority for me. But when you look at it, is it actually, are you where you want to be with that? So have you really made it a priority? People often say, well, yes, I want to write a book and I know it's important. I've got to write it for my business. I know it's going to support my business. And I don't, so is it actually a priority? And what would happen if they suddenly made it a priority? Their priority is getting their business, running and being successful. And I'm sort of becoming aware of that shift in focus, or maybe it's a shift of paradigm in terms of people's thinking and mindset, that actually writing a book and giving that priority to that could be a way to them achieving what they were wanting to anyway with their business. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm sort of exploring, and that's what keeps coming to me as well. So again, looking at priorities, look at where you're at, and are you achieving what you really want to in that area that you say is a priority? And that comes, I think, back to something I sort of made a note here. It's like, whose priority is it anyway? Because sometimes we put as a priority, God knows otherwise, or the universe knows otherwise, and it will create something else as a priority. And when you actually look back and join the dots, you'll go, oh, yes, I needed to do that first before that. So again, there's that trusting of what opens up. And that sort of that thinking came out of the realization and the sort of thinking about with my grandchildren. We ask them to do a job, like, get the washing up done and the drying up done. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Half an hour later, it's still not done. Thought you were going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it. But when? I wanted it done when I said I wanted it done. It was my priority then. It wasn't their priority then. They were doing something else. And so it's well, what's whose priority and how can you work with that? So maybe again, it's sort of that getting in touch with the universe, with God, however, what is the priority here? And for me, with my grandchildren, well, what are you doing right now? Maybe ask them, what are you doing right now? Is that a priority for you to do? And have a conversation and say, well, look, this is a priority for me right now. And I hear you've got that. Is there some way we can move together on this? When could you get this done for me? And it is about having that conversation and acknowledging someone else's priority. And I'm sort of thinking, as I'm saying this, I can hear myself and I'm going, are you listening to yourself, Caroline? This is something to take on board, But it is about communication and having a conversation and being where someone else is, as well as, what your expectations are. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's a conversation I need to have with God and with the universe around my priorities at the moment as well. So yes, conversation, communication, and it can perhaps take away that angst, make it more free-flowing.
Claudia, what do you think?
Yes, in regards to the health aspect, it's just like running so much in the collective consciousness right now on this planet in regards to what's going on. So I get it that health is very up high with so many of us. Obviously, we want to be healthy and feeling safe and protected. So I get that why you chose it as well, Nomsa. So it's just like being projected all over again now. Yeah. So it's very big thing happening. And in regards to me, yeah. So again, as well, like Carol Ann, even though I would love it as well to be my priority, health, I was just tuning into it actually, but it's not really, as Carol Ann said as well, it's more the business and so on, because health is actually working out in my life. It feels good, it looks good. I put obviously energy and time into it. I have my waters, I have my supplements, I get sleep. Sleep as well is very important for our health. It comes even before the food and everything. We need to sleep, very important for the body as well, to be rested and healthy. So it's just like, yes, so I can get the both of you, yeah? So it's just like, for me, it's more as well the business, as I was tuning in, because the relationship and the health and the spirituality aspect in my life, I feel good at this stage, up to 90% or something, if I would give it a score. So it's the business I'm focusing as well right now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's good to hear different opinions. For me, the reason why I choose healthy as my priority, I I work really hard, but when my body says stop, I listen, I stop. And also, I'm watching how many hours I sleep. I wake up at 4 a.m., but if I go to bed an hour later, I have to set my alarm to get up at 5, so I have that extra hour to sleep. Even though my business is my priority, but I have to put my health up there because without me being healthy, I wouldn't be able to run my own business. So I make sure that I'm doing a life book anyway. Life book, it means I have to do the assessment about my life, about my health, about my spirituality. So the health, basically, it comes is on top. So I have to do the assessment for love, even though I'm a love and a relationship coach. So I'm doing that at the moment. So it is basically going deep to say, okay, this is what I know. This is the health that I know. And for me to be able to teach somebody else, I need to teach myself first about eating healthy, having sleep, like what Claudia was saying. And also with love, I need to go deep, understand the meaning of love. So that's what I prioritize at the moment. Basically, I've done the task yesterday. I've got Dr. Bickett as my mentor to make sure that I'm doing what I say I will do. And another girl, South African girl, she volunteered to help me as well. So I created a group. So they are helping me to prioritize. Although yesterday I went out with my daughter, she went dancing. So we came back, I was like, I'm carrying all these bags and I'm like, we're gonna walk home. And my daughter decided, no, it's not gonna go how you plan. And she's 5, so she decided we're running. So I was like, are we running? Me carrying these bags? So we ran, and until we got home. And today I hear the school are calling me. They're like, Kayla, she's not well. I was like, no, she's fine. She ate all her breakfast. She's running. She beat me yesterday. I was like, she ran a long time, like maybe 4 miles. So she's tired. I was like, she's tired. We're meant to walk. So she decided to run. So I was like, no, I'm not. Can you keep an eye on her? She's not really, she's not sick, but she might be tired. But if you want me to pick her up, and the school decided to keep her. So that is what is happening at the moment. I'm accessing everything, even my parental skills. Everything is under evaluating. I'm checking myself out, doing this life assessment. So because Carol Ann has brought this topic as well, which is gonna make me actually go deep. And today I think I'm gonna do spiritually and parenting, my parenting skills, and see how things are going. So that's where I am at the moment. So like what Claudia was saying, that you are prioritizing your business. For me, that is fine. But for me, basically, my thinking is like, my health, it has to be my priority before I can think about my health. Because if my health is not in the right place, I cannot look after my children. I cannot look after anybody else. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to prioritize my health. Or even with the events, like I have events that I need to go and watch. So I go and watch them, then I have to prioritize my parenting skills, take a break and have 1 hour with my daughter, or just sit down next to her when I'm writing, and then she's watching TV, but as long as she knows that I'm there. And then I say to her, and she goes, you can go and do your work now, so it's fine. Over to you, Carol Ann.
Yeah, there's something nudging me. Bless her, your daughter. She's tired.
Yes,
my
she is
goodness,
tired.
running all that way, and yeah, she's exhausted probably.
I know the plan was meant to walk, but then
she just.
I see her running, and I'm holding her scooter. Even instead of her going into her scooter, so she says, "No, we're running." I was like, "Okay." So here is me.
Does she run a lot anyway, or was that quite an unusual? Oh gosh.
I go running, But yesterday I was like, we are walking. We left her sister and I was like, we are walking today, Kayla. So she was like, okay, that's fine. So we went to my work, went to the office. When we finished, we come back and I'm thinking, I'm locking the door. And then she start warming up and I'm like, oh, are we running then? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And I was wearing jeans. And she hit me, and just before my house there's a big hill, and she was like not complaining. Normally she complains.
Wow. So she had quite a spurt of energy yesterday.
Yeah.
Love it. And it's, I think there's that part of me that's sort of being nudged in as much as that's brilliant. And sometimes children need that break themselves to recover because they're tired, and actually having to do schoolwork is not helping them to recover, and also they're not doing their best with their schoolwork, you know. And I know when my grandchildren went back to school after lockdown, within a couple of days they were exhausted, and I mean exhausted in a way I've not seen them exhausted. And I remember thinking, why are we shoving them straight back into full-time education? Why not allow them some time to ease back in again, you know, or make allowances for their tiredness and to then recover? Because we're always saying to ourselves about, well, if you're tired, give your body that, you know, that rest that it needs to recuperate. But do we really allow this to children, and what are we teaching them? You know, isn't that perhaps maybe what we've been taught, and maybe that's where that comes from? Got to keep going at all costs. No, and so I think there's something there to think about. And what is there is, what is the priority? Is the priority to allow for some rest, or is the priority you have to be at school at all costs? Yeah. Just a question, just a thought that sort of came to me, and one that sort of is there. It's one of my sort of, I think, my passions that's come up over the years. It didn't used to be there when I was a teacher and when I grew up, but it's something that in doing this work, this inner work, and working with what comes up and with the body, with knowing that actually, if we give ourselves the time, what we can then achieve is so quick and slick, you know, and far more than we probably would have done if we'd pushed ourselves through that tension, you know. So yeah, it's just sort of things that I mull around with now and nudge me these days. So I don't know what your thoughts are there, Noms.
I think rest. Sometimes the kids do need to rest, because if us adults, we do feel there's a time where we feel like we need to rest. But I think with them, they do need to rest as well. Because I've noticed that at her school, when you ring in sick, they say, oh, can you monitor her? But if she starts playing or she feels that she wants to come to school, just bring her to school. But for me, when my daughter, she's sick, if I can see that she's sick, I tell them I prefer to monitor her for one day, just to see. I don't want to rush her back to school if she's not well, or take a half day. I like to monitor her. So I always give them the time to rest. But if they are sick and they say, oh, I have this, and I'm not sure if I want to go to school. If I say go to school and they agree, that means they're not serious. So they know that if I don't agree, I say go to school. If I see them not arguing, because I'm testing them, if they're not arguing with me, that means that they can make it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts,
do you
Claudia?
think, Claudia? My daughter calls me a mean mom.
Yeah, it's the thing as well, you know, because at this very early childhood, the kids are already getting the beliefs, you know, from the family and friends and the teacher and the school as well, obviously, you know, between 0 and up to 8 years. And I wish back then as well for us at school, they would have taught us things in regards to how to meditate and how to love yourself. Do you know what I mean? All these things which they don't teach in school, and they're so important for us as we grow up. So therefore, yeah, okay, this is unfortunately not the case, but like, yeah, rest, absolutely, it is important without feeling guilty, you know, because so many of us as well, we do understand at some level, we do need some rest, but we feel guilty, yeah, or we feel lazy. So therefore as well, we push, and we are in this masculine energy, and yeah, it's just like, would be good as well to have a bit of a balance at the feminine and the masculine energy. So the feminine, that she can actually lay back and receive and just let it be, you know, yeah, and then comes again the masculine, the doing energy, but like a bit of both, you know. So, and I do like as well the belief, I can work smarter without, I can work smarter in less time. So this is definitely a great one to keep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I love that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, Claudia.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have any more, Carol, that you would like to add?
I think what I'm sort of moving on to is that question is it actually lack of, when we don't do something, is it lack of prioritizing, or is it that we're actually avoiding a task we don't like?
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because we may have prioritized and we know that that's a priority to do, but it's sort of, oh, I don't like that, so we find something else to do instead. So maybe there's something there to consider.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got experiences of that or thoughts.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Before I forget, you know, good point, Carol. And what's the difference between I have to do something that's important or procrastinating, you know? Yes, no?
Yes.
That's the thing. But obviously as well, even I have tasks at home. It could be just anything simple as cleaning the house, you know, and just some tasks are just not that favorite to us, you know. So sometimes as well, I just do this special things as in cleaning the house or so first thing in the morning, and then it's out of my way, and then I can go on to something else or a bit more fun. So this is a trick, what I do in regards to some of the tasks I don't like to be doing.
Because sometimes we end up cleaning the house and not doing the task we're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So you get that. I like that. You get it out of the way first. You haven't got that thing to do.
Yeah, it's just like, no, I get your point in regards to the difference between procrastinating and being busy and avoiding actually as well your soul's purpose and so on. Absolutely. So yeah, I get this too. Yeah. And we do this, all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I clean the house every day, so that basically it's not dirty. So it will take me a few minutes every single day just to clean it and make sure that I clean everything. Like now you see there's this carpet is ugly color, but my carpet is underneath because when it gets dirty. So my friend was moving out. She had this carpet in her house. So I was like, let me go and put it on top of my carpet. So this one is protecting the actual carpet because the children, they go to the garden. So I hoover every day. And like if I'm finished now, goes the talk show, I'll just do the work. And then around 4 or 5, I'm just have 30 minutes just to do the cleaning in upstairs. So that means that tomorrow I'll do the same. So it's not dirty. It just needs some touching up every single day. But my daughter, she's messy. She used to be clean, but now she's messy. And I asked her to tidy up her room. She will say, okay, I'm finished. And she shoved everything in the wardrobe. So, so I have to go and prioritize the healthy and then make sure we redo it together instead of me mourning and shouting. So I just go in. If she's available, if she's not available, I do it. If she's available, we just have a conversation, and I say, let's do the work and have a conversation. Then we talk about things like you were talking about the school, how much they are improving. Yesterday, she was telling me that she's doing an assignment regarding divorce. So she was saying, Mommy, what do you think about divorce? So we were talking, and I was saying to her, I don't think people should be together if they are not getting along. So then she was telling me her thought as well. So she was like, oh, this is what I've written. I've wrote this. And she was asking me about religion. And she was like, I have to write things about religion as well. So this is what I believe, what God is. And she's going to search other religions as well. So that made me realize actually things are improving. But I think private school, they do loads of personal development a lot. So she's in that category where she's doing a lot. And I think the school, even my daughter, the youngest one, she comes home sometimes and she'll say things like, at school we've been doing this, which is personal development, which they've never used to do it before. I think now they're just introducing it to school, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think back to actually prioritizing things, and I think it is very, very important to actually when you're prioritizing things to be realistic as well with the time. Just set up your time, prioritize your time, and be realistic. If things doesn't work on your way, and just be realistic, and instead of getting wound up, and consider putting an effort on something. Because sometimes, Carol Ann, we're talking about the procrastination. People, they say, I'm going to do this, and they keep talking about it. So you have to put an effort and look at it. Sometimes what I do is I look at my competition as well, and I look at what they are doing, what am I not doing, and if they're doing. Yeah, if I feel that I'm fine, I'm in the level, I'm fine, that's fine. And I actually sometimes I look at what is urgent, what do I need urgent to prioritize, then I highlight it, and I identify my goals, my true goals, and then I highlight them as well, and I make sure that I complete the task. That I say, whatever I say I'm going to do, I make sure that I do it. Sometimes it doesn't work my way, or if it doesn't work my way that day, I make sure that the following day it has to be my priority. If I can't do it, or if I have to make phone calls, or sometimes if I'm doing something and the phone calls ring, I have to tell you this, I don't pick up the phone. If the phone rings and I'm doing something, I don't pick it up. Unless if I know it's my children, they're at school, it's their teachers, I pick it up. If it's the school number, I pick it up. But if it's somebody else, or whether it's the client, I have to finish what I'm doing and then get back to them, because the 10 minutes or 20 minutes is not going to make any difference. So if I see that this is somebody that I don't know, I just say, I'm going to get back to you. And I've learned that the hard way, that there's nothing emergency than sickness. So if I see that is my friend, I only pick up my father-in-law's phone because he's older and he is the old generation. So I have to pick it up in case he's not well, he needs me urgent. But if I pick him, if the phone up, he's laughing, it's fine. I say, I'll call you back. I know he's fine. So I'm saying, I'll call you back. So he's the one that I prioritize, or my mom, because I know she's older as well. But the rest, they've got to wait. And I've learned that the hard way, because the phone is a distraction. I don't know what you guys think, but to me, the phone and social media is a big distraction. So I have to be disciplined on that department. And so I don't know with you, Carol, and what you think.
I agree. I'm just wondering, where are you with this, Claudia?
Yes,
a lot of agreement going on there. Yeah, what would you like to say?
Absolutely. I grew up in the 70s and we didn't have all this, so it was like, I'm still as well from the old school. Yeah, totally. You can
Yeah.
spend hours just by browsing through Instagram, Facebook, and have not done anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I browse in the morning and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. As you were talking, Nomsa, I remember thinking, well, never had a phone. You know, we didn't even have a house phone when I grew up. We
Same.
had to go up the road to a phone box.
Same.
You know. Yes.
Same.
Yeah. And it wasn't until
I didn't have a TV actually, Carol, and you're reminding me this.
Yeah.
My dad never brought a TV in the house actually. I didn't have a TV when I was growing up. My dad used to say, outside, you want to play? Go outside. Just go and play outside. And I don't remember even asking for a TV. Honestly, I didn't have TV, but when I was older, because I moved in when I was older, I stayed with my mom because they divorced, they both married. But I don't even remember. My mom they had a TV, but I don't remember really putting it as my priority. And that's what I did with my daughter as well. She's 14. I used to I used to cut the time for her screen, the TV, even the games. She never used to really watch it. She used to listen to music. She'll go to just play the music in the house, just listen to it. And that is her strength today. If you go to school and you go to parents' evening, they'll be like, because she's into drama and music, that is her strength. Her maths subject, yes, they are good. She's in the top class as well. But music is her top thing as well. And that's what she used to do. I never used to let her watch a screen, even in the bedrooms. Some children, they have TV in the bedrooms. Mine don't have TV. I tell them that I am not paying for it. I'm not paying for the TV, your screen. If you want the TV, your screen, because they are working now with the filming. So I tell them, work hard and buy your own TV. But unfortunately, the money goes to trust fund. So I say, wait until you're 18 or 16 and withdraw your money. Honestly, I don't have money to buy somebody. I have a big screen in the living room and then another TV in the bedroom. I don't know, Claudia or Carol Ann, it doesn't make sense to me to have
I don't have a TV even in Nomsa. No TV at my place. No.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't like it. Yeah.
I agree with this. I agree with you.
Well, we have a TV. When I was growing up, we did get a TV, and I remember it was a black and white TV, but it wasn't on 24 hours a day. There wasn't, it closed down. I think it was at 10 o'clock at night. There was only BBC One, and maybe BBC Two. BBC One and ITV. I think the only two channels, and then it all just shut down, and you'd have this black and white screen, until it started again. So there were only certain times that it was on, and certain programs. There was only certain programs we watched. But as a family, we played a lot of games, box games and card games, and I love playing games. And so even when we used to get family get-togethers, we'd be playing games. We'd have a lovely time. And so that's what I grew up with. And I remember my own children, them saying, because we had a television, we had one in the lounge and one in the dining room. And my children would say, "Oh, I want to tell you in our bed, my bedroom." And I go, "No, I don't agree with TVs in the bedroom." But that's something, as you say, Noms, that when they get older and they can afford it themselves, they do. So my daughter does. She now has a TV in the bedroom, and the children do, and it's just a different way of life, So I use the one in the lounge. I don't have a TV in my own room, but I think it's just, again, what's your priority, what's there for you, what you're going to use it for, what you want to watch. But I love playing games, and I know when we first went into lockdown last year, and quite a bit through lockdown, my youngest grandson, he spent a lot of time on the trampoline, and he'd be watching a particular show on the television called, was it What's Next? And it was a dance show, and he'd be watching them. And I don't know how many times he's watched, all the series. Absolutely amazing. But he would be making up his own dances, and he'd come and say, "Nan, I made another dance," and he'd play the music and he'd show me. And then he'd also be watching some the wrestling programs as well, and some of the moves. And then he'd go up on the trampoline and he'd be throwing himself around on the trampoline and things like this. But then he'd incorporate those moves into his dance and fling himself around. I would just talk about creativity, So he was actually watching the television work for him, certain programs, which was absolutely brilliant to watch. So I loved it. Yeah, you can say, "Nan, I got another dance here." Okay. And watch him just fling himself around and twizzle on the floor. And
it's the next John Travolta.
Yes.
Your grandson. Yes.
Yeah, gosh, it's amazing.
Actually, it is good because even though my daughter, she actually went to her dad, and her dad gave her the TV. I think she was trying to prove a point. But the TV, she's put it by the window because in her mind, basically, it's not her priority. It's not what she wants. So it's by the window. She doesn't watch it. So I'm like, okay. But otherwise, I'm all good. I'm not a mother that actually spoils the children. Basically, my children, I have to know that you have to work. And you have to earn money. Everything is money. Like my daughter was saying, I think that was my last birthday, and she spending my own money, buying my present with my money. So I had to explain to her that, no, that's not how it works. You have to save your own money and then buy somebody, your sister, some present, and your dad. And then this year, she saved money and she bought me some present with her own money. And she goes, it doesn't sound really fair. It doesn't sound really fair. I really want to buy a present, but me spending my own money, it doesn't sound fair. But now she's realizing that she has to be grateful for things because she's older. So she's realizing things are not cheap, they're expensive. And when she's free, she does it online. I don't know on TikTok, so she learned it on TikToks where she sells clothes or something. You can sell the clothes that you don't want to wear. Sometimes she does make good money, or £100 or £200. But I was asking her yesterday if she's doing it. She goes, "Not when I'm doing schoolwork. Maybe summertime, but with the school is hard work." And she was like, "This job you're working is hard work."
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but she does sell clothes online and make a little bit of pocket money. And the problem is she makes it and she spends it. So we are in the process of teaching, making money, save money. She goes, it doesn't work right, but it's going in a bit by bit.
So priority for her is not saving. Yeah. It's earning it so she can buy what she wants in that moment.
Yeah. So any words of encouragement, Claudia, before we leave?
Yes, in regards to priorities as well, I just had the word choosing, because we have the freedom to choose always what it is we would like to do in this very moment. It's about choice, and we can actually choose. Yeah. Choose.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And it's remember, don't make it wrong, Don't beat yourself up if things don't go the way you planned. And if you find yourself not doing what you set yourself out to do, just sit, reflect, connect, and ask, what's the bigger plan here? And what is it I need to do? And that, it just takes away that angst. And then what you find yourself doing is just, it's amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol. For me, basically, I would just leave you with basically just prioritize based on what is urgent. and put the phone away, social media away. Basically, phone is a big distraction. Just put it away. For me, I have the phone when I'm typing, like if I want to, because I'm learning words, like Carol Anne, she's a big fan of you have to learn words and understand their meaning. So I always have my phone and Googling what does this mean and things like that. So that's what I use my phone for, but I stay away from phone calls. I stay away from social media as well. So thank you so much, ladies, for today. And those who are watching Gossip Talk Show, whether you're gonna watch it this year or next year, please, when you're watching the video, if you love the message, press some love button and share that love heart button with your family and friends, and live with grace, everyone. Have a lovely weekend and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Bye.